The big four schools are unleashed finally.
Hang on a minute. I need to plug that in.
Oh,
Welcome everyone, Salty Bulldog Fan TV, the conclusion of round one of the season opener 2023 between the Western Bulldogs. Yes, you can do that. So the Western Bulldogs lose by 50 points, I think it was, in the opening game of the season.
You got to miss the final 8 minutes of the game, so well done to you, mate.
I did gathering the equipment.
The Dogs missed the entire contest, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I'll let you talk into the microphone and say all of this, Nick. So I'm Matthew Donald. Nick Galea, who was late, has arrived. Nick, give us your thoughts on the game.
At least I did arrive. That's a positive thing. Unfortunately, our Bulldogs did not on, of course, Saturday night. What do you do, though? Was a disappointing performance, to say the least, but what can you do? There's just not much to take from it, though, genuinely. Seriously. I mean, I'm going to find it a bit hard-pressed to say genuinely what were the positives from tonight at all.
Now, this is our first this is a post-match fan reaction. You can see a lot of Melbourne fans in particular are pretty happy. What we're going to try and do is we're going to try and speak to a couple of Dogs fans as well, if we can.
Haven't hit the train already, unfortunately. I tell you, I wouldn't blame them after tonight's performance, but we'll try our best to find a few, I reckon.
Yeah, we're going to see. We've got no idea how this is going to go. This could all go belly up very quickly. We're going to try and find out. We're going to see if we can try.
Roaming TSB at the moment. Roaming TSB.
We do. So this is going to be something that we're going to try and do a bit throughout the year. We're not going to be able to do it every game, and may even do it at a couple of games where the Dogs win with any luck as well. So let's go see if we can find a few fans to have a bit of a chat to.
Please don't make me talk about it, alright? Please, just...
What would you like to talk about then?
Just, the rainbow. I swear I've seen a rainbow today. He did as well. Today there was a rainbow, alright? The rainbow obviously didn't represent the Dogs. Alright, but I've got to say one thing. It's round one, boys.
It is round one.
Please, let us have it.
That would be nice.
No, because I'm Dogs.
I know. That would be nice. It would be nice.
So
We've got
let us
another
have
22 rounds to go.
Let us have it, boys.
Is there anything you can take from tonight, though, mate, at all?
From tonight, anything I can take.
Anything positive at all? Because there weren't a lot, to be fair.
One thing I can take good is that I think the Dogs wasted their money on Rory Lobb.
All right, so we need a refund on the lobster at the moment?
I think so. Nah, I think he can perform, but tonight he didn't. But
there weren't too many of us that did perform to help him out. You had a lot of friends that weren't on his side.
Exactly. You know, we got the Baz, we got Bont, what, 28 posies. Bont doesn't, like, you can't go past a Bont. But
what did you make of Libba's performance, actually?
Libba, don't get me started on him. He's my favourite player in the Dogs.
Well, we're joined by a favourite of the Salty Bulldog, part of our family, Mitch, who is a regular contributor to the fan Q&A. Mitch, great to have you on. What did you think of that?
What can you say, really? I mean, just sloppy. Just I've got no word. I don't know what I saw out there.
I think we're all a bit like that, as we've got a few more very humble Melbourne fans who suddenly think after one premiership in 58 years, they're suddenly the bee's knees again. Best player of the night?
For us, probably English. For us, I think English really held his own most of the way through the first half, and throughout the whole night, I reckon he was pretty solid. And apart from that, I don't know, Trelaw, I think, was pretty good as well. But not much after that, to be honest.
All right, joined now by, well, he's not a Bulldog supporter, but perhaps more importantly, he's not a Melbourne supporter either. So no, he's not going to rub it into us tonight. It's my old mate Dom, who I know from way back when. Dom's going to give us a mutual view on the game tonight, aren't you, Dom?
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's good to see you again, Matty. Yeah, good to be back for round one. I just think Melbourne probably a little bit cleaner when it mattered. I think the Bulldogs did have their chances, particularly in the first half, didn't take full advantage, and Melbourne is still a very strong unit. And this Gawn-Grundy matchup is going to be interesting how they take it throughout the year. I think from a Bulldogs perspective, Jones going out in the second quarter threw your structure out a bit. Quite tall, but something to work with. You are missing Waitman in the forward line, though, because he provides a spark that no one else can really replicate.
Melbourne a bit cleaner. Is that an understatement, or is that your genuine view on how the game went? We were dreadful.
Yeah, you just didn't take the chances in the first half that you should have to give yourselves a real chance of winning. You definitely matched them in the coalface, but as time went on, Melbourne got the sniff and they just overran you. Well, I hate to say it, kind of reminded me of the grand final.
What did you actually probably make of the third quarter here, Charlie, though? That's what I want to probably focus.
Quarter, we got absolutely dominated. Absolutely dominated. We couldn't come back from it at all. I think the whole team looks like Vikings, and it's ridiculous how off-brand they were since last year.
Did anyone from the Dogs earn their paycheck tonight?
No, not at all.
Harvey Galea, he'll be playing in a few weeks. He's a gun.
Um,
I'm mates with Harv. He's a great player. He'll be playing.
That was that bloke just walking by who said Harvey Gallagher. Any listeners of the Salty Bulldog will know about Harvey Gallagher. If you got an early nomination for a question for next week's episode.
I've got a nomination here. Can we already restart 2023? Is it possible to restart 2023? That's what I want to see.
I reckon my question for you tonight is: did Rory Lobb play? Like, he was.
There was that solid mark that he did take, but there wasn't much else to take from his actual game, was there? Genuinely, a bit disappointing to say the least from him.
I reckon probably a bit of the defending as well, like playing so aggressively and so high up the field, particularly after Jones went off injured. We didn't adjust, I don't think. And like the amount of times where it was like, Pickett or Brown getting out the back when, it's like, I reckon I counted at least twice that Keith got caught on Pickett, whereas you'd assume it'd be like a Jure or a Dale or someone like that who's better equipped to, handle the pace of him. But yeah, just like everyone's going to talk about the forward setup and how it didn't work that well, but I'm more worried about the back.
What have you played Riley West tonight, considering the way that the ball was exiting our forward 50? They got 9 or 10 goals of defensive transition there. Should have we gone a bit smaller?
Absolutely, we should have gone smaller.
Who would have you gone for?
Probably West. Off the top of my head, as I've said, I can't name them, but I would have liked a lot more smaller. Look at the D side tonight. They had a loss of May, who's obviously a massive out. Fritsch, Salem, Viney as well. So that's a lot of mids. They had Alex Neil-Bullen running through the midfield, and you'd back the Dogs midfield overrunning that at any point. I think they should have contested that down low a lot more. Obviously, if the tours went well, it would have been a lot better. But it's just can't. They need to go smaller next time.
Well, Charles, it's been great having you on. Keep the mo and the Aaron Norlock, and go back to your adoring fans. We look forward to seeing you throughout the year. Let's bring on the next. Speaking of Mo's, I like this one. I don't know.
Zimmerman here in the appearance, I reckon. That's what I'm reckoning.
Yeah, Doc Zimmerman. Have we got a name for this Mo or for yourself?
Lee.
I like it, Lee. It's not the only Lee in the crowd tonight. What did you think?
About the game?
Yeah.
All right, boys, have a good night, yeah?
Yeah.
Up the pubs.
Up the
Oh, well, it's no. It seems like we've got a very, very strong following of Bulldog supporters.
Come on!
And maybe a couple of other clubs as well.
Well, we lost the selection table. It's as simple as that. Let me start with you. Rory Lobb shouldn't be playing on the basis that what are we needing for a second ruckman for? If you're playing Josh Bruce in the back there, that's already two bigs you shouldn't be playing.
You were mentioning about the D's been a fair bit cleaner against us. It looked like it was probably like a chasm between the delivery from both sides right there. Bit disappointing to see from our ends, but what do you do?
Get into the. Come on, Don. We've done this before.
I don't know why it's been so long.
We need a straight line. We can't have you just hanging out the back here. I mean, that's what Cosy Pickett does.
Follow the Salty Bulldogs. Thank you.
Well, what these guys say on Twitter, on YouTube, and on Instagram as well. And of course, check out the Salty Bulldog podcast, which will be available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You know the drill by now. Nick, thanks for joining me through here. What was let's call it horrifying.
I've ever had to be a part of. I have no idea what on earth has just happened in that preceding 2 and a bit minutes. That's it. Very unique.
Chaotic.
I'm intrigued.
Well done, boys.
But we're learning. So thank you for everyone who's tuned into this train wreck. Hopefully it was a slightly better performance than the one we saw on field tonight. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care from all of us here at the MCG. Matthew, Nick, Brad, Lockie, thank you for helping out. Keed, thank you for the equipment as well. Great to have you be a part of it as well. We'll catch you on the flip side, Dogs fans.